Cyclists see considerably more of this beautiful world than any other class of citizen. A good bicycle, well applied, will cure most ills this flesh is heir to. These were the words of 19th century New Yorker and bicycling evangelist Dr. K.K. Dottu. Despite the joys of cycling and its benefits, it is not without risks. All cyclists should wear bicycle helmets. Each year in the United States alone, around 800 cyclists are killed and another 500,000 end up in hospital emergency rooms. 2/3 of the deaths and 1/3 of the injuries involve the head and face. Wearing a helmet can reduce the risk of significant injury by as much as 85%. Despite the fact that 70 to 80% of all fatal bike crashes involve the head, only 18% of all cyclists wear helmets. Now you might be wondering, why don't people wear their helmets? These are some of the reasons that I think cyclists don't wear their helmets. Free will. It's my choice to risk my own life, and no one should decide for me. May as well make bungee jumping illegal. Or maybe it's just fun, for the wind in your hair factor. Maybe it's inconvenient. It's too bulky to carry around everywhere, and if I leave it on my bike, it could get stolen. Or maybe they doubt in its safety. People die in full motorcycle gear at 10 kilometers an hour, and a cyclist wearing nothing can get a hit at 60 and survive. This last one may be true, but you have a much better chance of surviving if you are wearing a helmet. Now I'm curious. I wonder how many of you wear a helmet while you're cycling. For my quest, I decided to cycle around Bali and make a guidebook to sell, with all of the proceeds going towards buying cycling gear for local children. Sometimes I cycle to school, and when I do, I see loads of kids either cycling to school or just playing around on bicycles without wearing helmets. The reason that I decided to do this for my quest is that I love cycling. The first time that I remember cycling was when I was 4 or 5 years old and living in Cambodia. I remember cycling around the park with my dad holding to the back of my bike. It was the most magical thing to me. My parents have told me that I cycled before this when I was 3 and living in England, but I don't really remember it, and I've seen videos, so I don't really remember it. Here's a cute clip. No. Wow. Good thing I was wearing a helmet. When I was thinking about what to do for my quest, I only had a few ideas, and they were all to do with cycling. My favorite one was doing a sponsored bike ride, with people paying me a certain amount of money for every kilometer that I rode, with all proceeds going towards the same cause that I'm doing now. The reason that I decided not to do this was that I didn't want to ask for people's money with nothing in return. I also wasn't confident on how far I could cycle at this point. This was when I came up with a new idea. What if I could cycle the whole way around the island? How would that work? Could I make it into a fundraiser? It would be a huge challenge. After I chose the idea, I had to start practicing a lot more as I needed to get fitter. I cycled to and from school almost every day, and I did longer cycles on the weekends to Chandidasa and Balian. I started off doing 20 kilometers in a day, and I walked up to doing 50 or 60 in a single ride. At some points, we were pushing our bikes. At some points, we were pushing our bikes through streams, and at other points, we were cycling along big main roads. The actual cycle was a great experience. Each day was more fun than the last, and I loved every second of it. Well, almost every second of it. Some days were really challenging, and there were lots of hills. But you'll have to read the book to learn more about that. And here are some pictures. Yeah. 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 We had to get up really early in the morning to avoid the heat and traffic, and that can be a bit tough when you're a teenager. Everyone should try a big cycle in their life. Now I'm sure you'll want to buy my book, but But here are some more reasons to persuade you. The book is only 100 thou, and for every 3 books that I sell, I'll be able to buy 1 helmet. The books will be bought from the Moradadi bike shop in Ubud, so you know you'll be supporting local businesses. All of the cycling gear will be going to local children around Sivan Kaja. You'll be able to buy the book at lunchtime today in the green warung over here. As Scott Stoll, a community professor who cycled around the world, once said, a bike ride around the world begins with a single pedal stroke. I'd like to thank Ibu Angie, Ibu Laura, Pike Driver, Pike Reg, Pike Reza, my mom, and especially my dad who did the cycle with me, and everyone else who helped me on my quest journey. Thank you.